welcome back to my channel. If you watched my video last week, then you saw that I shared my lab results from being a vegan for 6.5 years, and at the end of the video I shared if I needed to supplement or what my doctor recommended that I do, anything like that, if I needed anything extra. If you haven't watched that video, I will leave it somewhere on the screen up here so you can go ahead and click on that. But I wanted to make a few recipes that are high in omega, so I'm not fully relying on supplements. Now of course I'm going to supplement just in case, but I wanted to come up with a few omega loaded recipes, if you will. So I'm going to be making lunch right now, and I thought I would share with you what I'm going to make, and this is going to be a chickpea salad sandwich, which is very similar to like a tuna salad sandwich or something like that, but this is going to be made entirely with chickpeas. I have made this with tofu as well, just by crumbling the tofu, and it is also really good and high in protein if you're looking for a high protein type of meal. But chickpeas are also a good protein source as well. So I'm going to first get started by chopping up a few ingredients. So I'm going to be chopping up an onion, a carrot, and celery, and then I'm going to saute it and caramelize it in veggie broth. While I'm doing this, I did rinse some chickpeas. After you drain them, make sure you rinse them. And so once I'm done chopping and sauteing, I will mash up my chickpeas. So let's get started. So I'm just going to finely chop the carrots and celery so they're not in huge chunks or anything like that. But this recipe is very versatile. You can do it however you want. But it's going to be very flavorful, especially by sauteing and caramelizing the onions with the celery and the carrots. So I'm chopping up about 2 carrots right now. This recipe makes a great picnic type style sandwich. If you're looking to have like a summer picnic, this is a great sandwich for that. And it is very flavorful and satisfying. So I'm just chopping up about 3 sticks of celery. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut up my onion. Alright, so I'm just sauteing the onions, carrots, and celery with some minced garlic and veggie broth. I'm not using any oil. So I'm going to let this saute and caramelize, and while this is sauteing, I'm just going to mash up our chickpeas. Okay, so to mash them, you can either take a fork or a potato masher. I find a fork is pretty easy. And I'm not going to mash them all the way because I do want some like chunky pieces to give it some texture. You can really mash as much as you want to. And if you have the time and patience, you can peel your chickpeas too beforehand. I do not have either of that right now. Now in this recipe I'm going to be using some vegan mayo. I love it that way. It's very nostalgic for me. However, if you are like oil free, you don't want to use vegan mayo, you can use tahini. I'm pretty sure that will work just as fine. But like I said, I am using vegan mayo. I don't use it all the time, so it's just like in moderation. And like I said, it's very nostalgic for me. I used to love those type of sandwiches before I went vegan when I was younger, and I just think it's very flavorful and I like it. But feel free to use tahini as well. Okay, so I really like this texture, so I'm going to leave it as is. Okay, this is all sauteed. It looks good, so I'm gonna let this cool and then I'm gonna add it to the chickpea mix. And while my mixture cools down, I did go ahead and chop up my walnuts. You can have the pieces however big or small you would like. Just be mindful if you give this to little kids so you know they don't choke on them. So I try to make mine pretty small. But I do want it to have some texture in the mix. So now I'm just going to take some sushi wraps and I'm going to cut them up as well in little pieces. This is actually pretty high in omegas, so we want that. Now that I think of it, scissors would probably be much more efficient, so just chop it up with some scissors. I'm already too far in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and rip them up. All right, this has cooled down, so I'm going to add in all of the veggies here. I'm going to add in my walnuts and seaweed. If you don't have seaweed, you can also add in some dulse. That's also like a nice, I don't want to say fishy flavor, but it has that same type of flavor like umami. And dulse is actually a good source of iodine. Alright, so now I'm going to add in the seasonings and a few other ingredients and then we'll be all done. It's very, very simple. It's very, very easy. I think the most time-consuming part of this is sauteing the veggies and mashing up the chickpeas, but now we just add everything else. I'm going to toast up some bread and then add it to the sandwich and then it will be ready to go. So I'm going to add in a splash of raw apple cider vinegar. A splash. Gonna add in some garlic powder. I'll put all the measurements down below. I don't really measure, so I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of each. Turmeric. Smoked paprika, dill, salt and pepper to taste, pepper actually activates the turmeric as well, so whenever you cook with turmeric, make sure you also add in some black pepper. Now I'm going to add in some nutritional yeast. I'm going to say about 3 tablespoons. Like I said, I just kind of eyeball it. And I like a lot of nutritional yeast. It has a lot of great benefits, so add to your liking. Now I use 2 cans of chickpeas, but you can certainly just use 1. I just like to make a lot, so I have a lot of leftovers and make a few sandwiches for the week. Now I'm going to add in some vegan mayo. Like I said, if you don't want to use vegan mayo, you can certainly use tahini. So I'm going to probably use about half a cup of vegan mayo. Kind of running out, so I'm just using the rest of my jar. I'd probably start with at least half of a cup, and then if you want to add more, then you can. My favorite vegan mayo is by Follow Your Heart, the Vegenaise. I don't think I'm saying that right, but this is my favorite one. It always has been. I haven't tried the Hellmann's one. I heard that one is good. I've tried the one from Trader Joe's and it's okay. It's not my favorite. I always just go back to this one. All right, next I'm going to add in some Dijon mustard. About a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Okay, I almost forgot the onion powder, so about a teaspoon of that. And then I'm going to do about 2 to 3 teaspoons of flaxseed to get that extra boost of omegas. don't know if you can see this, it's all mixed together and I think it's ready. I'm gonna give it a try. That is really good. Very flavorful. I love the texture of the celery and the carrots and the walnuts just have that crunchy factor. So I think it's gonna be really nice on a sandwich. So I'm gonna go toast up some bread and I will show you the final product. Okay, I toasted up my bread. I'm using Dave's Killer Bread, 21 whole grains and seeds. This is packed with omegas, 260 milligrams of ALA omega-3, so more omegas here. This is an omega-packed meal. I did add about another half a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, just to give it a little bit more flavor, and I think it turned out really nicely. I think if you had some romaine or spinach, that would also be a nice touch to this as well, and maybe a tomato, but I'm out of all of those things. And there you have it. Alright guys, I'm gonna give it a try. It just looks so good. This is like the perfect lunch, and like I said, it's packed with omegas. You have the flaxseed, the walnuts, the seaweed, and the bread. You're gonna be packed with omegas, so I'm definitely gonna be making this more often so I can get my omegas in and, you know, help to increase that. So let's give it a try. I love the crunch with the celery and the walnuts, and even the carrots. And this is so, so good. I'm definitely gonna be making this all the time just because it is so flavorful with the Dijon mustard and the apple cider vinegar, all the seasonings. Has that crunch factor with the walnuts and the celery and even the carrots. It's just very, very, very delicious. So you can also make this with tofu if you're not a chickpea fan or if you don't have chickpeas. Just make sure you drain and press your tofu, and then you're just going to mash it up kind of like a tofu scramble, but you can make it the exact same way. Definitely try this out if you're looking for a new lunch option or to get more omegas like I am. It's a good protein option as well, so yeah, definitely try it out. If you want more recipes like this that are omega packed or even protein packed, whatever you need or need help with, let me know down below. This is so, so good. I hope you try it out. If you do, let me know down below. If this video was helpful for you, please give me a thumbs up so I know it was helpful, and I'll definitely make more recipe videos like this. I love making recipe videos. I used to all the time on this channel, and I kind of miss it, to be honest. So I definitely want to get back to that, but maybe I'll do a few more omega packed recipes on this channel as well. So if you found this helpful, again, please make sure you give me a thumbs up so I know it was helpful for you. And thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.